Last time we focused on the test environment of the eIM. Today we want to focus on a different component, the IPA. Markus, I'm wondering, can you tell us what the IPA-D is, and is there a solution on the market to test this component?
Yeah, sure. As you just said, so we explained in the previous video that there are also interoperability challenges related to the IPA-D and its interaction to the other components. So the IPA is the IoT Profile Assistant, which is implemented on the device, on the IoT device. It supports the eIM. So these are kind of twins in really the profile state operations and state changes on the eSIM. Means it facilitates loading the profile, new profile to the eIM, enabling a profile, disabling a different profile, deleting a profile. So the trigger point, the control is really always with the eIM, but the assistant locally on the device is the IPA-D. And you may have heard the D stands for implementation on the device. There's a second flavor, which is the IPA-E, which is if the IPA functionality is part of the eOICC of the eSIM is implemented there. That's a second architectural option, but this is what we are not discussing for today. So if you want to implement or customize your own IPA, and who is it who wants this? Typically, if you have a very complex device where you have a lot of requirements on the details of the IPA-D, think about automotive and the devices in the car. We are aware of a company, for example, building payment point of sales terminals, which are not standard hardware, not standard devices. So they have a need to do something special, to do something proprietary a little bit. There's no out-of-the-box device which comes with an IPA-D available. So they need to implement an own IPA-D. Sometimes it's based on a piece of open source or on a template which you can get here or there. But there's still some integration work, customization work which needs to be done. And then you need to test it. So how to test it? Again, you simply need to make sure that you have an end-to-end test and development environment. Means you need to have all components in place with which the IPA-D interacts, which are the eIM, the SMDP Plus for profile downloading, and the eSIM, the eOICC, the card. So these are the components which you need to have, and you need to have them as simulations available fit for purpose for testing. Means it's not just providing just the functionality, but it's also monitoring all the interaction data, allowing to visualize the interaction data, to analyze it, because only then you have a chance to identify bugs and to identify the root cause of bugs and to correct this eventually. And also what is necessary, having a reference implementation for this component, because sometimes you're lost, you see a certain behavior, but you're not sure, okay, why is it wrong? What is wrong here? And then a reference implementation allows you to compare your implementation against the reference implementation. Then you see what the delta is, what the difference is. And that tells you very often and gives you a hint, okay, maybe the problem is here or there in this kind of behavior, this message is wrong, just by comparing the reference implementation to your implementation. So we do have these simulation tools for the end-to-end test and development environment. And that allows you to exactly build up this test and development environment for the IPA-D. By the way, maybe noteworthy, on the eSIM side, yes, we also provide simulation of an eSIM for the respective functionality, but we are also working with partners, most noteworthy G&D and Thales, with their eOICC cards. These are real-world cards, means it doesn't give you just an indication of interoperability with a mock-up, with a simulated system, but really with a real-world card. And also, we have tested the interoperability of all of our components also with these cards. So that's why you get a really robust and compliant, specification compliant test and development environment, which is the best basis to implement your IPA-D and to do also all the bug fixing and analysis in reasonable time frame and with a high level of efficiency. That's it, Laura.
So thank you very much, Markus. If you have any questions on how you can set up your test environments for your specific needs, please feel free to reach out.